Well, I just pretty much traveled up and down the East Coast of America, and I made periodic stops, and I've put over 200,000 miles on my car in just about 5 years. I've been in the mountains of Vermont. I've been in Pittsburgh, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and most of my time has been spent in Florida and in New Jersey. New Jersey is where my roots are. It's where I was born and raised. Florida is where I'm projecting my future to be. Um, and just the spots in between have been experiences. As a nomad, your lifestyle is that of more experiences than someone who lives in a regular house. Because when you live in a regular house, which I did for 15 years, you'll have days where you never leave your house. Maybe you go outside your house in your community or to work on your yard, but you never really get an experience of traveling up and down a coast. Great to see you, Pat. Good to see you. And, there's a different type of traveling when you take oh, Infinity, great to see you, brother. Infinity, not 199 super chat. Love to you also, brother. I hope you're doing well. I know you had some theft. Someone stole your personal information a couple months ago. Hopefully that's going well. Been praying for you. Keep doing your thing. You're always in my heart. Thank you again, Infinity. Keep living your life on your journey to pull a travel trailer with your Gladiator Jeep and live on the road. Being a traveling nomad, if that's your desire. Thank you again, Pat Go, for saying hello. Thank you for your positivity. One Flying Solo, what's up? Tony, what's up? Good to see everyone. Shout out to everyone out there trying to live their best life. Look, as a nomad, you're trying to find your best life. Okay. You're selling your house or you're getting on the road to find something. I remember when one of my first trips traveling from New Jersey to Florida in my car. There's a different experience traveling in your car versus traveling in the airplane. Different experience. It's longer in your car, but there's more experiences. And I remember my father asked me, I don't know what you're looking for. And I really wasn't looking for like myself. I already found myself through self-care and good habits. But I was looking for an environment that was more suiting for outdoor activity, basically. Warmer weather, just more vibes. Uh, every place has its good and bad. Okay, Florida's not 100% all good. New Jersey's not 100% all bad, and you could say a lot about a lot of other states. Every state, every place has good and bad. And I want to encourage you, if you're in a bad area, get in your vehicle and drive 45 minutes. Within 45 minutes, I guarantee you, there's a way better neighborhood than where you're at. Someone has been messaging me about, they live in New Jersey by Atlantic City and it's gone to shit. That area has been downhill for a while, but I would just say start your car or move your family 45 minutes away. There's beautiful, nice areas around there. Adapting is part of being a nomad, but that's why it wears on you. Guys, I just traveled 1,500 miles, and what I can tell you is it wears on you. As you get older, it wears on you. There's an emptiness too in your soul a little bit because you're not anchored. There's an off-balance feeling. You got to have a lot of self-care to substitute for that. But it's true that, having a house anchors you, and it balances you, but it burdens you. There is no perfect answer. We're trying to find what's best for us at that season. Back to his last comments. Paco was saying, cold in Michigan, need to bring the brass monkeys in tonight. Yeah. I was debating if I left too early. Should I have stayed in New Jersey till after Thanksgiving? I don't know. I could still always go back up there for Thanksgiving. It was still hanging around the high 50s, 60s. So that's very doable during the day and still fine camping weather. It doesn't get unbearable living in your vehicle, living in your RV, even without heat until you get into the single digits or teens. So I could easily do to Thanksgiving or even Christmas up there if I had to. There's some parts that I miss. Definitely miss my mother up there. Definitely. And I found some nice walking areas, quiet areas. And this time of year, there's not a lot of people there. I'm finding through my nomadic experience, but I've always been like this even when I was young. I do best in quiet areas where it's close to resources, but not a lot of people are bothering me. And so I do good in off seasons. Like when it's the off season, that's my on season because no one bothers me. I'm glad I got a lot of peace. And so now I'm in Florida. Now Florida's beginning their on season. So, I don't know. I got to figure that out. Shout out to you, Pat Go. Back to his live comments. Again, Tony, great to see you. Tony says, Pat, brass monkey, like the drink. Adam, what's up, brother? Good evening, Sam. Hopefully your day has been good on your travel back to Florida. Yeah, most of it was done last night. Today I had some business things I need to do, but finished up here in late afternoon. So we're just about there. And I was thinking about you today because I know you're from Florida. And then you relocated to Michigan, I believe. And so I was thinking about you, brother, with that. Christina, hey Christina, how are you? Great to see you. Aaron and Christina, sorry, I missed you, Aaron. Good to see you both. Thank everyone for their love and positivity. A lot of people that watch my channel, they have the nomadic dream. Some are living it. Pat, no brass monkey, like it is cold, so you could freeze your balls off, brass monkey. Oh, okay. It's like a reference to freezing your balls off. Adam, I like in lower Michigan, Pat. I know it's pretty chilly out there. Yeah, see, I don't know. There's some parts of the country that have already got really cold. Like I said, New Jersey wasn't unbearable, but there's a little bit of a cold front coming through this week, but then it's going to warm back up next week. As a nomad, you're always going to have to check the 10-day forecast. And don't just check the temperature, check the wind and check the precipitation and humidity. But wind is a big thing that's underestimated. Back to these live comments. Back up. But Adam, all the small towns are decorated with happy scarecrows. I saw a lot of houses. Yesterday was Halloween. So I saw a lot of things like that. I saw more Halloween decorations up north. As I've gotten down south, no, I don't know. Yeah, as you get into Florida, you don't see much Halloween stuff. I haven't seen much Halloween stuff. But, I guess there's something to be said. Bonfires, if you're into that, campfires, now's the time to do it if you're up north. But as I get, Florida here, it's hot. But it was nice. The humidity is not too high. So it was also nice. I don't know, man. I got mixed emotions tonight, how I feel. I saw a couple home bases today already, too. I mean, it's weird. And then I said to myself, why am I even looking for a home base? But then I said to myself, I already saw 2 home bases that are reasonably priced. And yeah, obviously, look, the biggest thing for me is my mom's still alive. So I like to keep a lot of flexibility in case something happens. That's the biggest thing that tears me up emotionally as far as making my next step. Because for me, my next step for me, and this is why it's hard when you're married or when you have family somewhere. Family, that's the thing. It's a good thing. It's a blessing to have loved ones if you got ones you connect with. But the bad part is, again, not that there's a bad part if you're in a good place. It's just that when you're somewhere and someone you love is somewhere else, that is something that is challenging. And that's the nomad. Being a nomad is like, you ever see a movie like you sign up for the CIA? It's like, if you sign up for this life, you're not going to have any close relationships. You're not going to, you're going to be a loner. And the nomad life is kind of that. That doesn't have to be that, because there's plenty of people who live on the road that are married and stuff. So nothing has to be that way, but it's kind of like that, So it's like you live this isolationist life, which has its good things. You're not attached, you're not bothered, but has its bad things where, you're not anchored, no community. Like, even like now, how do I feel right now? Like right now, see, I'm back in the gas station. I could do it. I'm back adapting to it, but I don't want to be back out here like this. But then I said to myself, all right, we'll just buy the home base. And then I said, I buy the home base, and I feel like, my mom's, halfway across the country. I just don't feel peace about that yet. So I don't know. That's my ultimate dilemma now. But I don't want to. That's why I want to. This is what you got to do. Okay, and we're gonna get to live comments. See, I gotta adapt now. Now I gotta go back to Florida Sammy. Okay, and I gotta get back into this rhythm. And I was back into like New Jersey Sammy. Now I'm in Florida Sammy, and I gotta settle in. But it's hard to settle in. It's like, but I gotta settle in. I can't make any decisions right now. But in one sense of my mind, so I'll go back up north to see my mom in Thanksgiving. And that's a good part about being a nomad, but the bad part is when you travel around like that, guys, you lose your rhythm. I got a rhythm of the time I wake up, the time I go to the gym, the time I eat, and traveling across the country, guys, or traveling, hundreds of miles, whatever you're going to do, that messes up your rhythm. And then if you're a nomad and you stay within one town, you're not really a nomad. You're like this homeless person, that's just traveling around the town. Yeah. So the part about the nomad life is, look, when you're traveling, you're a nomad, and like there's no issue parking because you're constantly moving and it's go. And you don't want to be attached to nothing. But when you're circling around certain areas, then you cross over the dimension of you're not really a nomad. Now you're just a homeless person circling around the areas. And that's where I'm stuck at, because it's like, well, again, then I go home base. But then I go home base, mom, I don't know. There's still something there with Mom Dukes, So forgive me, guys. I'm rambling, but I want to share some things about the nomadic life. My man Hal, what's up, brother? 1 year strong as the member. Thank you, all my members. You guys and girls have been gracious to me. Wandering off, great to see you. A year of growth and blessings. You've done very well for yourself, Hal. Thanks for the real talks and advice, keeping it real. Hal, I think about you often. And I know now, you're kind of like, you're heavy into your work. And, but I thank you for everything, man. And I love you. And I'm proud of you. Hal kicked ass, man. Hal went through the foster care system. Okay. Hal broke up with his girl. He got laid off during this pandemic. Here he is, guys. 6'6" too. A lot of you chicks want to get with him. Here he is, guys. This guy's gonna give up on life, man. I got a lot of trolls that give up on life. They probably got it a lot better in many instances than Hal had it. But Hal, what's your number one asset besides you being tall? You got a positive attitude. You were blessed with that. You're born with that. Now, I'm sure anyone can turn to a psychopath. You push them hard enough. So I don't want to ever put anyone on a pedestal, but I always tell you, Hal, what's your number one asset? Positive attitude. Don't let someone steal your best asset. Okay. What's the nomad's number one asset? Flexibility. Why would you give that up? If you stay in one area, then you give it up. Or you get a camping pass. Now I said to myself, well, Sam, get the fucking camping pass. But then you go, the Class B, you're destroying its value every time you start it and drive it. Because there are more miles on a Class B, guys. It's like you're just throwing money out of a window. It's true. And the travel trailer is like a babysitter. It's cheap, but you got to babysit that thing every day. You got to fucking drag it to here, drag it to there. You got to go to a campground. I don't know, man. That's why I've always said, man, the car life is still the simplest nomadic life. Part of me wants to get a Class B, but part of me says, again, it's such a waste, man. I can't justify that, man. But I may. I don't know, man. I like the Class B because everything is with you. Okay. I like that. But I don't like that unless you're traveling across the country on that constant loop or you're in campgrounds. I don't know. I may do more campgrounds. We'll see. Everything has a pro and a con. I'm just rambling. All right, we're going back to these live comments, guys. I'm back in a gas station. How do I feel about that? I'm done with fucking gas stations, man. They're beat, man. I feel way back too much in the public. I was getting used to some privacy. Now I'm back in the public and shit. I don't like it. I'm late on these. Thank you again, Aaron and Christina. Pat. Oh, I read that. Read that. If I miss a comment, please type it again, Pat. But Adam, all the small towns are decorated with happy. I read that. Adam, possibly. Tony. Oh, laughing. I thought you meant the drink. Yeah, brass monkey. In my youth, it was actually good. It's beer and orange juice. Sounds nasty, but it's good. Yeah, that does sound nasty. Oh, yeah, that's interesting, Mix. One flying solo. What's up, man? I got my move-in date for my new apartment. So, oh, well, congratulations. I'm nervous. That's normal. As it will be my first time ever in my life I'll be living alone. Well, yeah, see, here, everyone's got a story here. So, flying one solo is going through a divorce. Very tough thing, but the right thing to do when you get to that point. So, here's the negative about buying a place or renting a place. In one sense, as soon as you go in it, if you live by yourself, there's a higher level of loneliness. I remember when I bought my condo, and when I didn't have people over, and when I was by myself, you feel a little lonely in a house or an apartment, or especially if it has extra rooms. You just feel voids. You know, when you live in 1,000 square feet or whatever square feet, and there's empty rooms, you could throw the furniture in there, you could put paintings on the wall, but there's a void. There's nothing there. So, at the same time, though, what do? You remember what it was like when you lived with people, you wanted to be alone. What do you do next? Again, keep your square footage relative to the amount of people in the house. One person only needs 200 square feet. So just multiply the square footage times the people. 200 times however many people you got. After a marriage or after a relationship, living alone again, you got to adapt. You know, you got to take one day at a time. It's my best advice. It takes 27 days, they say, about a month to form a habit. See, right now, my habits are all fucked up because, well, my core habits are still the same, but traveling up and down the coast, guys, all your daily routine shot. Okay? I got some basic things I'm still doing through discipline, but it's such a wear and tear. You know, it's like I'm putting miles on my Class B of my life. And it's good to use what you have. But one flying solo, I want to tell you this, brother. You have to remember why you left the marriage. It was getting so bad that you didn't see a good future. Here's the key thing, guys. Why do you end something? Whether ending a marriage, ending the nomad life, or ending the house life. Why do you end it? You end it because you see more negatives than positives. The only time you end something is when you see more negatives than positives. And that changes. See, life is not static. It's nomadic. And that's the one thing I get scared about buying a house. Is, man, life always changing. We're not going to find a perfect answer. The answer is this: self-care, live below your means, and whatever you choose, nomad, live by yourself in an apartment after a divorce, whatever you choose, you got to keep enough flexibility in your budget, in your emotions, and in your life that you can adapt. Because everything's going to change. Don't matter. Nothing's going to stay static. Thank you for flying solo. Coach Mark, what's up, Brad? Sam, glad you made it safely. Yeah, thank you, brother, number one. Hope your parents are making their way safe, number two. Number three is, I don't know if I left too early. I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I should have waited a couple more weeks, you know. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Thank you, Cartoon Mark. Tony, man, Michigan gets cold. All these lake effect states get bitter in winter. Yeah, well, and you're very north. You know, Michigan is basically on a borderline of Canada. So, you know, you are in the frozen tundra. Yeah. Wandering off. Eileen, hey, Eileen. Recently moved to Florida from Minnesota. Oh, well, that's a 100% win. See, look, Eileen, that's a 100% win. Yeah, so much better. The sand is better than the snow. 100. Look, see, what I'm speaking on tonight is if you're in a good area of where you live, and, you know, see, I've always been on the coast. One is I would never want to live inland. That's number one. Number two is I would never, you know, like there's only a little sliver of New Jersey I miss, and then with my mother. But to me, if you're living in Minnesota, and we had a lady, Vicky, too, wandering off, who lived in Minnesota. To me, it's a no-brainer. Michigan, Upper Peninsula, to me, it's like a no-brainer, guys. The only reason I say with a little hesitation tonight, this nomad life is, if you are a nomad, you can go to the very best areas of each state, even if it's just a little bit of an area, and you can spend time there. And, then you get the best out of it. But there's some areas that they ain't much good. Believe me, there's some states, guy, I fucking fly right through, So, wandering off, aka Lean, you did well. Because if you had to pick out of 50 states in America, if you had to pick one state, look, I don't think you're going to do bad in Florida, unless you go to a rural area that doesn't have good economics, that's in the middle of the state, and that you just buy it because it's cheap. Some people do that. But even that, is it better than Minnesota? I still will think it's better than Minnesota. That's my opinion. Tony, anything is better than snow for sure. Yeah, I agree. Look, guys, believe me, I wouldn't even be debating. Look, snow for the L. There's no way I like snow. Okay. January, February, March are a disaster. The whole reason you're a nomad is so that you can have a level of flexibility with regards to weather. If there's a hurricane, you travel. That's why I still like it. If there's a blizzard, you travel. But for the first 2 years when I lived as a nomad, I was not traveling. I stayed in a blizzard and I stayed in bad conditions. Why? Because I didn't have a remote position. And what I could tell you is, again, when you're traveling within the same town or area, you're really not nomadic. You're really more like the homeless drifter that's just circling an area. So, but look, I've done it with a great life. So I don't want to say that with all negativity. I still do believe you can handle yourself with dignity and be a nomad, but there is a time window on that lifestyle when you're circling one area and you're not planning to do something different. Like for me, I was able to justify it very rationally in New Jersey where, look, I'm just doing this until I could figure out the remote, and one way or another, something was going to give. I got fortunate and I worked for it. I got fortunate and thankful. I thought about that even driving down, man. I'm thankful that worked out, man, because I think about that. That would have played out differently. That there would have been interesting decisions, So, but then even when I get in Florida now, in the beginning when I was in Florida, as a nomad, you travel around. You'll figure out what areas you like and explore, just have fun, no attachments. But then, like right now, I could go to anywhere in Florida. Okay? But I've been to just about everywhere in Florida. And what I found is I don't want to be just anywhere in Florida. So now I got to be careful. I get in this algorithm, this pattern, where you circle around certain areas and it's you don't feel like a nomad. And you're not. You're the homeless person just like circling around an area. So that's one thing you have to consider. You may have to get a camping pass. You may have to go into that you may not. Depends on the season you're at, right? I'm in a different season now, guys. I'm going on 5 years, so my seasons have changed, and you've seen that evolution of the nomadic journey for me. You have to define it for you. Let's go back to these live comments. I'm rambling a little bit. Hal, Sam, what's good? What's good, brother? Wishing you a blessed week. I wish the same for you. Did you make it back safe? Yes, thank God. Hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you again for everything. I love you. David, what's up, brother? I went to look at a home base last week. Okay. But the bottom of the trailer is not mounted straight to the ground. And there was a big dog living there, and the place had an odor. It was old smelling and looking. Now, that sounds like mold, and it sounds like too much of a red flag right at the door. Once you marry that type of property, it only gets worse. Unless the location is so great and the infrastructure, the electric, the HVAC is the location, the land, and the infrastructure is worth it where you could switch out the home. But I doubt it. So look, you don't want to buy something for the sake of buying it. You don't want to rush because of inflation. You don't want to rush because you're tired of being on the road. Obviously, there's some exceptions if you got a family and your rent is, your lease is ending and you got a decision to make. Look, but you also knew your lease was ending. So, but I do empathize that everyone has a different circumstance. Okay, so all I can tell you is that when it comes to buying property, that's a serious decision. And even buying an RV, serious decision. That's why I've always defaulted, man, I'm going to ride this out with this regular car till I figure what I really want to do next. I'm still in this place in my mind where I could see the RV or the home base. But like I said, even now in the car, I'm looking at my next week or so. I don't really want to do much stealth camping anymore. You know, it's tough because in your mind as a nomad, you really don't want to pay for campgrounds because it's like that's the whole thing. Like, you know, but I don't know. It's good when you're traveling. You're hitting rest stops. You're hitting truck stops. I did that all the way down the coast, and that's exactly what they're there for. That's the nomad life. But the nomad life, when you circle one area, that's when it's a problem. That's when the truck stops, the rest areas are not the stealth camping. That's when the parking lot becomes your home. And that, to me, I don't want to do that anymore. It's not where I'm at, man. So, David, I would tell you, man, don't buy that piece of shit. Bottom line. Pat, excuse my language. Once a domesticated camel spit in my hair. Okay, snow is better. All right. I know you like to talk about that. I love you, Pat. Pat, just kidding, it's all love. I love you. I'll take the camel over the snow. Well, I hope you get to Arizona because I know that's your dream. I know your husband's a little halfsy on that. So I hope that you're able to get him down there. That's the hard part about living with other people or being, you know, like having family and stuff. It's like your family's here. You don't want to be here. You want to go there. There's that pull. Now, look, guys, in my life, I've already done it. You know, I think about that. I was driving down. I said, man, I severed my relationship with my father. By default of the nomad life, I severed some relationships, just regular friendships. And the nomad life, it's your life, guys. It's my life. I don't have to justify my life, but I'm sharing with you so you get an idea is this lifestyle's that of you are like a CIA agent as far as the attachments that you're going to have are so limited because you're not in a community. And if you are in a community and you don't rent or own, you're the homeless person in the community. You're not the nomad in the community. You're the nomad in the community if you're traveling. Now, I've been both. I don't care. So I'm not trying to shame anyone that's in this place. I'm with you. But I'm talking it out that when you get there, when it's for you, when you get to a certain years of doing it, then you get to the crossroads where I've been at. But the dilemma for me, I didn't look, if it was just me in this world, it's the home base. Why? I don't know. Now, I could justify the other way because you could say that, well, RV and campgrounds. You could do that too, guys. It's just how you want to slice the pie, I guess, you know. I always say when I start to go back and forth too much, I just got through another day. You know, and but you do have to ask yourself as a nomad at the end of the day, was this my best life or am I just trying to avoid a big decision with consequences? It doesn't mean you should rush to make a decision like David's got that crappy house he looked at. I would know, you know, guys, I would never rush to buy a house. Never. It's not worth it. I would never rush to buy anything. I would fucking wait 5 years before I'd ready. But when you're ready, this is again, when, that's why I want to emphasize that word. When you're ready or when you come to this place in your mind as a nomad, that it's whatever reason you got into this life ran its course. Now maybe it didn't, but when it does, that's the decision, you know. It's an easy lifestyle to get into in one sense. It's hard to get out of in another sense. And it's like a death, you know, it's like a divorce. You know, selling your property is like a divorce. I'm still happy I sold my house. Buying a property is like a marriage. That's why I'm very cautious to buy another one. Living as a nomad is like being single. But it's also like, if you're not in campgrounds and you're stealth parking all the time, it's like being a middle-aged person going to teen night. It's like that season's over. So, you know, it's like now you got to like, which direction? You know, you go in campgrounds, I don't know. You know, we're just talking. I'm talking tonight, guys. Click that thumbs up. Let's go back to these live comments. Thank you for being patient. Pat, I love you, Pat. David, there was a big dog living there, and the place had an odor. Yeah, that dog was taking a dookie. It was too old and smelly looking. Yeah, that's not the place for you, brother. Keep looking. Don't worry. Prices are stabilizing here now, guys. Wandering off. I love your authenticity. Thank you, Wandering Off, aka Lean. And I love the fact that you changed your life for the better. You moved from Minnesota to Florida. You took the steps. And honesty, I love you. Thank you for sharing your life. Thank you, Aline, aka Wandering Off, for sharing your life. Thank you for being a member. You don't come in here often. You don't owe me anything. And I never want you to feel obligated to me. I never want, got anyone listening to me, member or not, don't feel obligated to me. If you guys got what you needed from me, or you just got something else you got to do for whatever reason, financial, emotional, time, it's all love, guys, okay? I'm doing what I got to do what you got to do. I, look, truly do want to see people do their best. I talk wild sometimes because you got to get intense. I never mean, I don't want to hurt people. Sometimes I'm dealing with trolls. They want to get me all worked up to get me pissed. So there's a lot you deal with. But, and I will say this, living as a nomad, guys, it turns you into like this tiger because you have to be. You know, like to survive as a nomad on the road for years, you got to get into a mindset of out there in the wild. I even noticed that. I reflect on that now. Like, you know, when I'm in a house or when I was in a house or when I'm in a stable environment, you calm down. You know, unless there's an extreme thing going on in the world or something, because it's a basic, everything's controlled environment. When you're on the road and everything, there's a little bit more like, you know, you need that to survive, you know. Like right now, guys, we'll go back to live comments. The energy in this gas station is depressing me. It's not a bad gas station. It's not a bad area. I'm not in a bad area. But I'm telling you that after 5 years, I don't know, there just comes a time. But there's so many individual circumstances behind the decisions you make that you got to think of. I always hear my mom in the back of my head say, Sam, you got to make whatever decision's best for you. Don't think about, you know, you don't have kids or family, you know, but I still think about her. I still think about this, that. And one thing I love about the nomadic life is the flexibility. I love it. You got to give up something, though, to get something. But let's just get through the day before I start talking about this too much. Pat, wings and pizza for dinner. All right, well, enjoy. I try to avoid that even on the road, man. Like I just had a chicken salad, a small bag of chips, and some tropical starburst. So obviously there's some calories in there. There's some excess, right? But to me, if I eat wings and pizza, my body would shut down. Spinach, salad with onions, tomatoes, all that stuff with some chicken. Very light dressing and some small bag of chips, not the big family size I used to get. You know, it's just like I'm able to feel light on my feet per se, even though I'm a big guy. So I don't know, man. That's true. Like, you know, living on a road, if you're not in an RV eating like that, like wrestling around your car, like, and you got like you just ate a pizza, and you know you got bubble guts or you got acid reflux, you know that's gonna mess with you. Pat, I'm ready to sleep. Beam me up. 2:45 a.m. Yeah, well, you better keep that bucket next to you if you're a nomad in your car eating pizza and wings. You know, someone asked me one time, what do you do if you got to go number 2 at night? Well, again, you know, if you're at a rest area, truck stop, or whatever, there's usually a gym nearby, but you got to go to it. Now, unless you got a van or Class B, that's the value. There's toilet there. But, you know, I'm on such a regimen with my eating intervals that I only go number 2 in the morning between like 8 to noon. Because I eat pretty much the same thing just about every day at the same time periods. So, but when you're eating pizza and wings, which I did for many years of my life, you wake up 2:45, you got the runs. And if you got the runs living as a nomad, you better have a self-contained RV, or else you better have a bucket and a 3 mil trash bag because you about to dookie your car up. You know, David, you thought that house you looked at was that dog took a dookie and it smelled. Wait till your car smell. after you got the runs at 2:45 a.m. Tony, traveling on the road, yeah, I totally agree. See, Tony's a traveling musician. Traveling on the road wears you out. I'm done. For sure, that's why I try to take the train or fly, but even that wears you out. I totally agree. See, this guy knows. Tony, you know. Look, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I don't have it in me. Like, I still love the flexibility. I love having everything I own with me. I'm done. You get burnt out. But I think about, I got burnt out on owning a home. So I think about the answer is balance. That's a damn hard thing to figure out, guys. The balance is the hard part to figure out. So like I say, my thing to get me to the next day, because sometimes in life, as I get older, see, I try to slow down and not just buy, rush. I got through another day. So now I'll do campgrounds for a little bit, get me through more days until I figure out something. Pat, my arms always get so tired when I fly. Well, Pat, I thought about you today because I saw a bunch of Winn-Dixies back in Florida, man. And some of them look pretty good. I saw one Winn-Dixie by his home base I looked at. It was looking pretty good. Twister, what's up, everyone? Great to see you, Twister. My man Chris, what's up, brother? Big shout out to sunny Florida. Shout out to everyone in their Class B. Again, is the Class B still an option? Guys, that's a go. I don't know, man. There's no, guys and girls, there's no one answer to life. I'm just rambling. You got to do what you got to do for you. And remember, guys, everyone's at a different point in their life. Tony, I honestly prefer the train. I can take my car or tour van on the train so it works out. Yeah, I took the train. I've flown before. I took a van. I've rode in a van before. So if I had to travel long distances, I prefer a car over a van. Why? I prefer the drive. I prefer the efficiency. And I'm just looking to drive a long distance and stop and sleep. If I'm staying around one area, you could say I prefer a van because you're going to need more of a house than a travel mobile. If you're going overseas, then you need the fucking airplane. I don't want to go overseas though, and I don't know if I want to go van or home base. Good job, Tony. Pat, Bob Villa was voted most likely to renovate. Is he still alive? In his high school class. Was he really? All right, Pat. I know that. Pat, hello from the almost constant white skies of Michigan. Gray and cloudy. Where happy scarecrows stand on every corner of small towns. Really? That sounds pretty scary to me, Pat. Sounds like Winn-Dixies and scarecrows. Erin, our therapist, our social worker, and our loving spirit, she goes, do you think going home, New Jersey, has had second guessing yourself in any way? No, not as far as the decision to sell my house, not as far as living 90% in Florida. I would never, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't want to live in New Jersey full time. But I found certain areas. I even discovered an area that I knew was there, but I kind of like found even a better area when I was there this time. But I was only there, guys. Why it was enjoyable, I was there during off time. I navigated around some things that I learned through the last time I was there, and it worked out. But I could tell you, if I was there during the summer, I would have hated it. Why? Because it'd been too crowded. So the only thing I'm questioning is should I have stayed to the holiday? Just to, so, but then I said to myself, let's just say I stayed till Thanksgiving. Okay. Then I did 3 months. And if I really had to, I could do till Christmas. That's 4 months. I would never do January, February, March because I've already lived it. There's no winning those months. So I said I wouldn't want to do the summer because the summer's a clusterfuck and the spring is a cold hangover of the winter. So the best time to be up north is the fall. Technically, the fall is September to December. Fall ends December 20th something. So I said to myself, should I have stayed there the entire fall season? There would have been some days that got cold, but I could see myself doing that. Okay. That's 4 months out of the year. So if I could see myself doing that, I said, well, Sam, then maybe Class B. Okay. Now again, but then I said to myself, Sam, if your mom wasn't there, would you consider that? I don't know. I don't know. So that's a good question. I would only want to use that for an escape against a hurricane or for get some fall weather. I don't know. But that's the part of me that goes, man, Class B and the camping pass. But the campgrounds in New Jersey, they closed the last day of October. There's some private ones, though. There's some private ones that will go into December, I think. I think I found one or two. Good question. Aaron, I'm asking this because, for me, not having a home base in Florida would make leaving New Jersey much more difficult to handle these normal transitions with travel. Let me read this again. She goes, she's asking because not having a home base in Florida would make leaving New Jersey much more difficult to handle these normal transitions with travel. Yeah, no, it's a fair question. It's a good question, and it is true. Look, not having a home base to come back to makes it a little bit more psychologically and logistically challenging because I got to fight now. I got to get back in this fighting mood. When you're living as a nomad with no home base, it's adventure, but it's a fight, and the fight wears you out. Okay? I still got enough energy, youth, and wherewithal and resources in me. I'll fight it. So now, again, I know there's a segment of nomads that are destitute. Okay, and I often tell you, if you're destitute, go see a social worker. Aaron is. Go try to get help. And if you have the ability, work and figure out some subsidized housing. And just take vacations. Remember, guys, I'm not on a vacation. See, some people, like, there was someone who left me a comment, like they just got back from Florida. They went on a 2-week vacation. They were camping in their car. Remember, guys, I'm not on vacation. I live in my car, like, every day, 24/7, 365 for 5 years. I have nothing to go back to. Okay, I go back to see my mom, but that's so it's an interesting question, Aaron, and be patient, everyone. Want me to latch you? I'm gonna get to you. Love to. It's an interesting question because it makes me think: if I had a home base in Florida, would my life be harder or better? Well, the one of the 2 home bases I looked at today, I could definitely see myself in. It's below 200,000. Right by the beach, about, I could do it. So, my life would be easier here. I mean, it'd be fucking piece of cake. So, why wouldn't I do it? Well, I don't know. We're going to see this winter. I mean, there's only 2 things that keep me back from it. One is, again, if I would want to stay in New Jersey for 4 months out of the year, I don't know if it's worth owning property. Because I don't know if psychologically that makes it worse or better. Like, I was at Daytona Beach, and I was traveling around, getting down, and I was like by the ocean, and I was like, man, it feels good not to have nothing. But then at night, when you get to where you want to go, and you don't have no place to go, that's when it's like, it wears on you. Because why? Now I'm back in the gas station. Now I'm back at the gym taking a shower, and it just comes to a point where, does the home base makes life more balanced. Okay? The RV, there's a season of life to RV. And look, I said to myself, if I had an RV, that's a different life. I'm living the same lifestyle, but it's a way bigger component. It's a house. So I will have more privacy. But I have to figure out the parking. Because if I don't figure out the parking, all I have is $100,000 or $20,000 trailer that I got. All I got is a house that I got to figure out where to put. And that's what I can't fully figure out with the RV. Because some of the campgrounds that are in the camping memberships of like 1,000 Trails, I don't want to be there all the time. And I may go back to the home base if it's got a mobile home on it. If the mobile home blow away, I wouldn't build another mobile home. I'd just put a fucking RV on it. So, back to the live comments. I'm getting close. Cartoon Mark, I see it in your eyes, Sam. What do you see? Yes, you're done. I'm done. Damn it, brother. You read right through me. You guys are smart. You guys are watching me. All right, let's take a hydration break. Mark Sloat. Yeah, I'll tell you. Well, I want to thank you again. Look, man, I got a couple trolls. They bust my balls so dad died. But there's a lot of positive people. You guys have been good to me. And even the trolls, maybe they were good to me and maybe they wanted to get with me and I didn't want to get with them and now they lost their fucking mind and they went restraining order on me. Yeah, I'll tell you, I got a couple of fucking. But let's stay positive. Positive, Sam. I want to stay positive. I want to speak before I go back to the comment. I want to say thank you to all the positive people that have watched this channel, supported in any way, even if it's just watch. Definitely thank all the members. Definitely thank anyone that's ever contributed anyway. Look, you guys have been, and girls, very gracious. A lot of gratitude. And I'm always honest with you. Even 2 days ago, man, I felt like, man, I don't want to do YouTube no more. But I think that's just an emotion. It's part of life. Because I still do it, and I still like it. When I get off the road, it's going to be a good thing where it's going to show you guys a transition. Yeah, I mean, I think even that's going to be a good thing, but I'm done. Yeah, I don't want to direct that conversation. I just want to say I'm done. You know it. Look, I called my mom today on WhatsApp, and she goes, Sam, how you doing? I said, Mom, I'm done. I said, but she even said that when I came up to visit her this year, and we were talking, I was telling her, look, I said, I'm getting close to getting off the road. And she goes, Sam, I could tell. She goes, out of the past few years, I've never seen you. I could tell you're more than ever, you're not into it anymore. So I still love sleeping in my car. Like, when I'm up north and I know I got somewhere to park, to me, that's a piece of cake. And if it's a quiet area and it's off season, that's beautiful. Now, when I'm back around all these people and I got to fucking, figure it all out, that's when it's a nightmare. Okay. But I don't want to be unrealistic in my expectations of a home base. You cannot look at a home base like a silver bullet. Now, again, if you got a family, if you're anyone, I don't recommend most people do what I did. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I wouldn't recommend most people do what I do. So, I'm done. Yeah. I just got to figure out how I'm done and how I'm going to go to the next season. I just got my oil changed. Mark says, I see it in your face. I'm done. Yeah. Keep your head up. Thank you. I love you, man. And get something. Yeah, something low risk. You're smart. Thank you. Yeah. I think about that. I said, Sam, would home base mitigate your risk financially if there's a hurricane, if you lose your job, if there's an economic downturn? I want to be in an area where I know the economics and I know I could side hustle with DoorDash and I know some companies in the area where I could work. I could probably get a job with them if I needed to. I want to buy something that, even if the taxes double in 2 years, it's not going to break me. And I want enough flexibility that if I want to be in New Jersey for 4 months, or if I have to go see my mom, if something happened, I would not stress. I'm just about there. I mean, look, it took me 5 years to get to a place financially, emotionally that I'm going to accept that whatever eventually I do, it's not going to be as efficient and low risk as what I'm doing now. But the reason I've come to that conclusion, because I'm taking more risk now by just being on the road. I'm efficient as hell, but too much risk. Driving around is too much. And I need something. The home base. I'm gonna need to be in the gated community, guys. I'm gonna need the cameras, especially being on YouTube. I looking at some of these communities. I said, man, I gotta have that fucking security guard, man, just in case. I gotta have some cameras. Okay, that's how I feel. Because to me, I said, why fucking get a home base then? Shit, I can park anywhere. Fucking who cares? Now I gotta have some security, man. But I don't know. We'll see. Thank you, Cartoon Mark. Adam, we hopefully you'll find a home base. Thank you. I'm looking for contractors. Put them in a drive for my parents that leads up to the side entrance. Oh, okay. You need contractors to do some work for like maybe a service ramp for your parents with only 2 steps for them to go up. Yep. Less risk for them. Good job. Yeah, everything I'm looking at now, one level. For myself and for my mom if she ever need to come live with me. And if it blows away, you can put an RV on it. I'm looking for that too. It's got to be RV lot compatible. I'm not doing if it blows away, I got to build. I really would prefer the RV lot already there with an RV, but they're hard to find. I could do a mobile home and hopefully it lasts, like manufactured home, hopefully it lasts 10 years. But see, that's the algorithm I don't want to get back into. Contractors, waiting around, Home Depot. I'll tell you right now, like this one manufactured home I looked at was like 400 square feet on a beach. I said, well, if I get this, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not painting. I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to go see it, though, this week. I'm going to see it. We're going to make videos, guys. We're going to make this as fucking entertaining as possible. Adam, shout out to you and your parents. Donate. Yes, Sam. Jersey in the summer sucks. Yeah, I ain't doing that. Played shows up there in the summer. My God, there's too many people. Yeah. The Northeast as a whole, there's too many people. The off season, but mainly the fall. The spring is too cold. I've said this numerous times. Fall is the best time to be up north. So the only thing to Aaron's question that I think about, man, should I just stayed up there to the end of fall, which is technically December 20th? It's not as cold as upstate New York. But, I don't know. Then I said to myself, well, should I go back up and then come back down? I don't know. We'll see. One flying solo. Every time I travel, I always have digestion issues. Okay, yeah, because your eating schedule's messed up and your sleep schedule's messed up. Guys, we're a machine. We need a rhythm. And the nomad life throws you out of the rhythm. You got to be disciplined. Now, if you circle around the area, then you get a rhythm. But then you're not being a nomad. You're being a homeless person circling around the area. And that's, guys, I've done it, so there's no shame in it. I'm just saying that's when you get to, after a certain point, you get to a point, and then he goes, he have learned to take Sienna. I think it's due to increased stress. And yeah, there's more stress being on the road and changing diet. Yeah. Look, even like me, now I'm back. When you're traveling, the stores that you're used to are not always there. All the food's a little bit different, even though you can get some basic same things. And there's more stress on your body. Why? Because you're not walking as much. You're driving more. You're not in a routine. You're not in a stable environment. You're in a variable environment. And so you get to this burnout, this high mileage on your body. It's good for a season of your life to get where you need to go. It's good if you're going to do an RV and stay at campgrounds for an extended period of time. It's even good if you did it like I did. I'm just trying to say after 5 years of doing it, you get to a point where it's running a course. The tires are bald on your life. And you got to change the motherfucking tires. But I want to be patient. We'll see. Tony, flying solo. One of my trumpet players has the same problem about the digestion. Aaron, I need that home base to anchor me back to Florida. Interesting. So I can understand why this could be hard. Yeah, no, you get it. Yeah, emotional. Guys, Aaron, you get it. You're very smart, your therapist. Look, emotionally, these past couple of days been very hard. I feel I'm getting better. I'm adapting. The first day was very hard. Second day, third day, you adapt. In 3 weeks, I'll be fully adapted. It takes 3 weeks to form a new habit. So the thing is, because I said to myself, look, God forbid my mom wasn't alive. I was ready to buy a home base at the height of the summer in Florida. I was there. But then I was like, man, I'm getting ready to go back up north. Okay, so I don't know, man. I'm glad I didn't buy the home base in the summer. Why? I got to be by the beach, guys. I got to be by the beach. I got to be by the beach. So, we'll see. She goes, I'm glad you're living your way and sticking to your dream. Thank you, Aaron. No, I got to discipline myself. One is, The reason I come back down is because I also have to remember that I have to still live life how I would live it if it was just me in this world. Why? Because I don't want to become resentful. And if I spend too much time up north and I didn't live the life I wanted to live, the quality time with my mom would turn into dysfunctional time. It's very key. And if I decide to go back up there for the holidays or whatever, then it's back to quality time. Self-care is understanding the time you need for yourself and the time other people need for themselves, even if they don't realize that. Why? Because when people are on top of each other and they don't spend enough time by themselves, there's dysfunction because there's resentment, there's lack of motivation to do what you need to do for you. And you got to push yourself. Guys, I push myself. Now, I could have played it either way, but I said to myself, let me get back down here for a week or so. See, let me settle in. I got some things I wanted to do. I got to check my mail. I got to do a couple things here. I didn't have to do, but I wanted to. And, let's see how a couple of weeks play out. This is a good question, a good comment, Aaron. Twista, love to you, Sam. Love to you back. This truly is the decision of the century. Guys, I've been stretching this out, but it's true. We're here for you. I appreciate that. Never forget it. I appreciate that. Yeah. Look, guys, how long can I stretch the home-based decision out? Well, you guys are going to find out either forever, because there's a part of me that says I will never buy a property again. But then there's a part of me that says, Sam, either way, you still got to live through life. So it's just a matter. It's not like you're getting away from not dealing with life. It's just every day I don't buy a home base. What I'm saying is I am making the conscious decision that life for me, for whatever reasons I deem, is better without owning property. It's better without being on a lease. Now, it may not be better without being at a campground. Now I may switch some things up. So I'm glad I never. Again, when you sell your property, don't buy another property for at least a couple of years. You got it. It's like a divorce. Okay. And then once you get over getting a divorce, you have to ask yourself, would you ever get married again? Now, some people eventually they do. That's their decision. So it's like, should I ever buy property again? I've got mixed emotions. Let's take a hydration break. Go back to these live comments. 71 people watching. 35 thumbs up. Click that thumbs up. Leave a comment. You want to be a member, click that blue join button. Thank you to all my members. I show up every day. I make a video. I go live by the grace of God, and I want to thank you with gratitude in my heart for watching. Erin, yeah, this is a good reminder. I did think about this to encourage myself today. She goes, reminder, coconut shrimp. Yeah, tomorrow will be my first day back in Florida for a full day on a cycle. Where I'm back into a daily routine. That's why I want to settle in. Don't make decisions when you're in a transition, guys. No. Settle in, refocus. Yeah, tomorrow, coconut shrimp. Yeah. Side chick baristas. Yeah. Swimming in the ocean. Praise the Lord. I got to get back, guys. I haven't swum in the ocean in like 2 months. Yeah, now I'm getting excited. Good job, Aaron. My mom told me the same thing, Aaron. I got to feed the squirrels. My mom said the same thing to me. Damn it, you're on top of it. Sweat. Yeah, I've been sweating a little bit. Palm trees, I saw them already. You got this. Damn it, Aaron. Way to encourage. Good words. This is very good therapy you're doing over here. Good job. So, hey, Sam, if you don't mind me asking, how long did it take for you to finish paying off old house in New Jersey? Well, I never paid it off. I sold it and I still owed on the loan. I was just able to sell for what I owed. And after I equated all the money I put into the house, it was pretty much a break even. So you can sell a property, and as an example, you can sell a property for $250,000. You owe $200,000, and you have to pay the mortgage off. Then you have profit after you have real estate agent fees, closing fees, and then you also have to deduct how much money you put into the property to renovate it, to fix it up, to sell maybe, and all the property taxes you paid throughout the years, and et cetera, et cetera. So, but I will say this, I bought the condo in 2001 or 2002, And for the first few years, it went up incrementally. And then the housing crash in 2007, the thing went down in value. And it went down for like all the way to 2010 or 11. And for about 5 years, I owed more on the mortgage than my property was worth. If I wanted to sell it, I would have had to pay for it. I would have had to pay extra money to the bank, which I didn't have. So, that's the difference. People buying property now, they buy it and it's gone up in value. And they don't, maybe they've just never lived through a period where homes don't always go up. And, I'm not saying it's going to be a crash, but I'm saying, over time, look, homes appreciate, but it does matter the price you buy them. And, no one knows the future, though. That's the X factor. Things can keep going up there. When should you buy a house? When it's below your means and it's an area you want and there's enough flexibility to change your mind, even if the house value goes down 50%. Did I know that at 22? Guys, no. Guys, like sometimes I feel like, especially my younger people who watch, I think Twister, you're 22. Juicy Jeffs, who's a young YouTuber. When I was your guys' age, even though I had some wisdom, I always had like an old soul. I didn't know some of the shit I know now. So when you're in your 20s, just by default, you haven't been through enough experiences and your mind just hasn't processed enough where you can get everything. So I'm glad I moved out young. I got help to do it. I worked for it. And I'm glad I had a mortgage to push me to push my career. Because I think about it, if I was a nomad at 22, would I have ever pushed myself to take the promotion and move up? There's something to be said for that. But I know that it's hard to compare 20 years because now with technology and now with different, you can do a lot more things remotely now than ever. When I was starting my career in my late teens, 20s, guys, there was like no jobs that were remote. Maybe like 5% or less of the workforce could work remote. The internet wasn't that popping in 2001. It was there, but I don't know what there was. MySpace, basic emails, so in 2021, 20 years later, guys, you can work mobile. You can live as a nomad and never own property and function at a very high level in the workforce, very corporate level. So the world is different now, so it's hard to compare 20 years difference. Something to think about. All right, back to these live comments. Early riser, Sam, how much for small concrete slab to beach, just big enough for your car and put a travel trailer behind it? Right now, you're probably looking at between about 160 to 180 minimum just for a concrete pad. There's some of them that have in that range more towards 180 that may have a small manufactured home that you could tear down or just leave it and then eventually put an RV. You can't have both in some of these communities on the beach. If you go inland, I found one for like 125 with just a mobile home with RV hookups. You own a quarter acre, but you're 10 minutes from the beach. So, but I want to tell you, some people say, oh my God, well, that's a no-brainer. I'm not saying you're wrong because there's a lot of good metrics. I looked at this property. Quarter acre, you got a mobile home. It's an older mobile home, but you don't never have to live in it because now you're code compliant. You can park your RV right next to it, live in your RV. You're code compliant. You got the dwelling. The problem is, guys, it wasn't in a bad neighborhood. You could walk the streets, but there's a different energy. There's a different lifestyle when you walk out of your house or RV and you walk in a suburban street that's not on the ocean. I remember the first time I visited Florida as a nomad, I was on the beach side, Highway A1A, and a local came to me. This was in Melbourne, Florida, I believe. And she said, if you're going to live in Florida, if you can afford it, live beachside. Because even though it's a 5-10 minute drive over the bridge, it's a whole nother lifestyle. And it's true. when you don't live like right on the beach, you can still live a great life. Guys, Minnesota to Florida, I don't care if you live an hour away from the beach, you're winning. I was looking at a home base hour away from the beach 2 months ago. So remember what I'm saying, guys. Take everything what I'm saying in understanding of what I'm saying, okay? But I am saying, be very clear, that if you have a goal of living this lifestyle where you walk out of your house and the ocean breeze is there and you are at the beach, you are at this tropical oasis, it's a difference of 10 minutes that changes your entire life. And I say to myself, if this was the last property I would ever buy, would this be it? And to be honest, if I buy a property 10 minutes or an hour away from the beach, I can't say that this would be the last property I ever buy. Because in my mind, my goal is to live on the beach. If I buy a property on the beach and a hurricane comes, which is a reality, and blows it away, as long as I can convert that strip of concrete pad to an RV lot, just put an RV on it, I could justify it, and I could say to myself, look, it's like if everything goes wrong, this was the dream. So it's like, this was it. Where else was I going to do? I wasn't going to do anything. This was it. So it's like, once that goes, guys, there's, whether it be a hurricane, global warming, it's like, guys, I don't want to live my life as if something bad already happened. I don't want to take excessive risk. But I think that for 50 grand more or so, living on the beach versus living 10 minutes away from the beach. Now, again, I looked at a property for 50 grand total, an hour away from the beach, and that was tempting. Guys, a lot of you people who are low income, I would have no problem living an hour away from the beach in Florida versus a lot of other places in the country. I almost did it myself. So I recommend that you really get on your search, but I also recommend not to live in a gas station long term. I'm done. Okay. Good comments. Aaron, always remember HALT. That's interesting. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Never make decisions. Yeah, I never knew that was standing for HALT. Never make a decision or move when you are these things. I totally agree. Damn it, Aaron, you're on fire tonight. One flying solo. I almost bought property, but I'm glad I took your advice. I totally agree. Never buy property until the divorce is finalized and you've spent at least 2 years by yourself just renting. When my father got divorced, he moved in with his mother, and that went bad. Look, if you're an adult and if you don't have a disability, you don't want to live with your mother long term unless she needs care or vice versa. Now, there's some exceptions. I would, if I had to, I'd put a place. But at that time, my father, both parents were alive, and he had another sibling there. And he needs to live alone. The happiest I ever seen my father was when he was renting a place, small little studio apartment, and he was going out on the weekends and he had his routine. Now, he was always anal. He always had to have things. He's always messing with things, renovating, having things perfect. But I think that was his best because it was less stress. But as much as he said, he couldn't be alone. And he ended up getting remarried, and then he built another house. Now, I don't want to say that made his life bad because he seemed to be enjoying it somewhat. But for some people, I definitely say, if you're going to get a divorce, in my opinion, do what you want. I think that's good. Get the divorce because I think, obviously, if you're even thinking that, there's something wrong. But I say stay single for a couple of years. Don't buy a property for a couple of years. Why? Heal. If your dog dies, heal. And then see what you want to do. Yep, you're in a transition too, One Flying Solo. Good job. Twist of Fire, thank you. Early riser. I can see her point. I bet it's a completely different world once you cross the bridge and are beachside. Totally different. Totally different lifestyle, totally different energy, totally different cost. And again, I don't want to say negative that you have to be by the beach to enjoy life. Guys, I'm looking still at home bases that aren't by the beach. I'm just saying I think about that conversation I had with that Florida local the first time I came to Florida on vacation. as an adult with the mindset of moving here. I came to Florida when I was young. I came when I was in my 20s, but I never came as a, middle-aged man looking and researching to relocate. Okay. And so that's a whole nother mindset. It's a different mindset, okay, going to a bachelor party in Miami versus going to scout out a community you want to live in. Okay. So, you know what I mean? So there's a whole nother decision-making process, okay? Early riser. As the saying goes, it's more expensive, but the price for paradise. Yeah, the only negative is I think to myself, I did a live feed of never buy a piece of paradise. Why? Because you don't own paradise. And I think about that too. It's like, all I'm really doing is just asset allocating. I own the land, yeah, but I create a different daily routine. That's true. But now I'm responsible. I remember there was a guy in church. He wanted to be married. I think eventually he got married. But he used to always tell me, he goes, Sam, what's the worst thing a girl can say? And I used to go like this, I don't know. And he goes, no, the worst thing a girl can say is yes, because then you're responsible for her. I was, oh shit. So it's like, it's like you win the negotiation, you win the bidding war, and then you're responsible. But look, I can accept that. The issue becomes asset allocation. If it's below my means, I can justify where, look, how much you're going to keep in the bank. At a certain point, even if the whole world collapses, like let's all my preppers, listen to this. Even if the world collapses and there's a catastrophe, you're not mitigating all your risk by just having everything liquid. Because if everything collapses, having everything guys, the government can seize your bank account. And if you're hoarding gold, who are you going to barter gold with? Some psychopath with 5 guns? You're going to say, yeah, meet me at the ran down 7-Eleven that's no longer functional because society burnt down. Bring 5 gold coins and let me see your hands up, okay? There's no gasoline, so I guess you'll be walking or taking your, I don't know, I don't even know how you're going to run a car. Yeah, but matter of fact, I don't even know how I'm talking to you. Why? There's no cell phones. There's no electricity. Hey, you want to trade for 5 bars of silver? Okay, I'll trade you this. I'll trade you that. Guys, we're in a barter system. If the world collapsed, guys, we're in a barter system. So what does anything matter? Nothing matters. That's the whole perspective of buying the index fund. If the stock market goes to zero, guys, it doesn't matter where you have your money. Society's over. Okay. And if that's why the general consensus is, look, the stock market may go down for 5 years, but eventually it's going to come up. And if it doesn't come up, society's over. Everything's done. However, what can happen is there could be too much money. People have too much money, and there could be market manipulation. You put enough psychological pain on someone, the market goes down, they will sell their house, they will, and then as soon as someone sells, the market shoots up. And then it's cycle. This is how life, you need mitigate risk, balance portfolio. That's all you can do. Twister, the beach lifestyle is my dream. Well, I'll tell you, there is nothing like camel toe. Okay, not camels, but camel toe, fresh air. But look, the beach life is the best life. I mean, out of all the lives, that is the best life. Now, the fall life is good. I enjoyed the fall weather. I'm not going to lie. Gianna, when you get your home base, maybe you can do something. Yeah, cooking for us? Nah. See, that's interesting. I think to myself, I'm going to get this home base. I don't like to cook. But I'm not going to be at the gas station every night. I'm going to buy a home base below my means. I can still eat coconut shrimp for lunch. And then I go home, I'm probably going to make brown rice with red, low-sodium Goya beans and some type of protein. And I'm not going to be screaming. My voice is going to be more calm because I'm probably going to be in some community by the beach where the houses are close. And I'm going to be making a live feed talking about something. Yeah. I think it will be great. Yeah. I'm hot, guys. See, that's the thing. Now I'm back to like 80 degrees. I don't know if I came back down too soon. I don't know. But see, now, guys, to me, anything in the 70s was cold. Then I spent a couple months in New Jersey. Now I'm back. My body, everything's got to readjust, man. I got to readapt. Aaron, laughing. My kid is going to a bachelor party in Miami. I'd live that life in 3 days. Yeah, well, let him go to the party. Why? Because you got to let your kids experience life. We pray nothing bad happens. Anything bad happen anywhere. But you got to live life. Because if you don't live life, guys, you just, you're going to be even more resentful to your parents, and you're not going to be a developed child. I couldn't imagine being 30 years old and never going to Miami for a bachelor party. It's like, what's your life experience? I don't know. But everyone has a different life experience, so don't let me but I'll tell you, Aaron, you taught your child well, but most of all, you got a loving heart and you lead by example. You're doing great. I pray for your child. Have a good time and safe. Early riser. I forget what video of yours it was, but you literally crossed a bridge and we're beachside. There's a lot of Florida has intercoastal, which means there's a river that you go over the bridge, you go over the river, and then you get to an island, and then on the other side of the island is the ocean. That's called the intercoastal. Pretty much all the way from St. Augustine Beach to Daytona Beach, then from Cocoa Beach to Jensen Beach, and then you guys strip a highway even by Palm Beach to Delray Beach. That's all intercoastal. So you got a lot to choose from beachside. You don't have to be in Palm Beach, but anything beachside is going to be more money. That's true. Backslash, what's up, brother? Yo, Backslash still with me, the best apparel designer in the game. Click on his channel, hit subscribe, leave a comment, say Backslash, we found you on Inspirational Nomad's channel. Let me know a link to your Amazon store, whatever you sell. I want to buy 5 shirts, 5XL. And at anything else, just leave a comment, click the thumbs up. Aaron, there is never any let with my boys. They are great kids, and you know how to figure things out. And they know how to figure things out. I just think funny that he's doing many things you did. Yeah, it's part of life. I mean, I don't know any young person that wouldn't go to a bachelor party, a baby shower. I don't know any young girl that didn't give a blowjob and talk to her friends. I don't know any young kid that didn't talk about the blowjob he got. Remember all my middle-aged, which I'm middle-aged, and my older people in this live chat. I want you to always ask yourself, what were you doing at 14, 16, 26, 30? You say, I know, that's why I don't want my kids to do it. Well, hey, I understand everyone's situation is different. You guys got to, I just want to tell you, remember where you were, and remember, you got to let people live their life. This is part of just life. But yeah, you get it. Good job, Aaron. Shout out to your kids. Guys and girls, we made it through another live feed. I'm hot now. I'm not even cool like I was in New Jersey. I got to adapt again. I feel burnt out. Shout out to everyone out there on the road. Solomon Mom, I don't know if you're still driving. All my nomads, ESPs, maybe she's in the background making extra money as a supervisor. Everyone on the live feed tonight, Aaron, has some good comments. Backslash, Early Riser, Gianna, Twister, One Flying Solo, Tony, David, Adam, Cartoon Mart, Paco, my man Hal. Who else was in here, man? Infinity, man. Thank you again, Infinity. Love to you, brother. Christina. We love you, Christina. Who else was in here? Speak now or forever. Oh, wandering off. Testified about moving to Florida from Minnesota. To me, it can't go wrong, something like that, guys. It's like, guys, if you're living there's a lot of states where I could say, man, there's not much upside. But yeah, to me, Minnesota to Florida is a no-brainer, or Minnesota to California, no-brainer. Yep. So I think I got to all the live comments. I think I acknowledged everyone. Aaron, okay. Oh, I was doing it all and turned out just fine. Yeah, they will too. Yeah. And look, guys, no one is 100% perfect. So, it's like, I don't know anyone that you could point to and say, oh, they grew up as great kids. Like, to me, one of the biggest mistakes Hillary made too in her run for presidency, when she was asked at one of the debates, what do you admire about Trump? She goes, well, I love the fact that he raised great kids. Guys, his sons committed adultery on their daughters, slept with the girl from Making a Band, Audrey. His daughter, who seems so nice, she was the one that told Trump to shoot the protesters in front of the building at the White House and hold the Bible up upside down. His children look nice, but they got corrupt souls. It's true. So it's like, why am I saying that? I'm not saying that because I don't got love for some people that vote for Trump. Look, I got love for everyone, guys. I'm saying that because everyone has a little bit of a filthy cup. Okay. There's a scripture that says, you hypocrites, you're careful to clean the outside of the cup, but inside it's filthy. You're careful to talk about don't commit adultery, but you're going home, you're watching stepmom porn. Okay. You're careful to teach about the tithe, but you're a cheap bastard. Guys, do whatever you want. You want to tithe, okay? You want to masturbate in your cup. You want to clean your cup. You want to live with dirty underwear. I don't care if you want to buy 10 prescription glasses from the Dollar Tree. My mom just got some new ones. Do what you want to do. But I want to tell you this, guys. For us nomads, there's a lot we can do because we live on wheels. But there's only so much you can do, okay? How many times can you go around a country? How many times can you go around the world? How many times can you go around the same town in the same parking lot? Guys, it ends. This is the message of the Lord tonight. Your inspirational nomad wants to tell you that everything must come to an end. And when the cops are circling around the parking lot, it comes to an end. When you're burnt out on the road and you're tired of building out vans and you're willing to accept that life is going to be a little bit more boring, but it's going to be a little bit more stable. But when you haven't figured it out, stay as flexible as possible. Why? Hey, guys, there's no perfect answer. That's the bottom line. I've tried to look at every answer. There's no perfect answer. None. So that's why I default don't buy. That's why I default keep my flexibility, even if I got to rent, even if I got a campground, even if I got a hotel. Because, but I also said to myself, asset allocation, look at your windows, look at this and that. And then I also said to myself, I'm done. Hopefully this video and my videos help you. Thank you again, everyone. Love to you. I'll see you next one.